All right, diving in today, we're taking a closer look at the writings of Ellen G. White.
Always a fascinating journey.
Yeah, and we've got a great combo of sources for this deep dive. We've got a devotional entry from My Life Today, dated September 13th.
Okay.
And then we're going to flip over and see how the Ellen G. White estate is.
Hmm.
Well, they're doing some really incredible work online, sharing her writings with the world.
Bringing it into the 21st century.
Exactly. So much to explore. So why don't we start with that September 13th entry from My Life Today.
Sounds good.
And it's titled, Christ is the Truth.
Very fitting.
Right to the heart of it.
And it's based on John 14.6.
Oh, a classic.
I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me.
Such a powerful verse. And Ellen White really unpacks it beautifully in this devotional.
Yeah.
She starts by, she paints this vivid picture of Christ's baptism.
Oh, yeah.
Heavens opening, the Spirit descending like a dove, God's voice booming from above. It's hard not to get chills reading that.
Yeah. You really feel like you're there. You're right there on the banks of the Jordan.
You're transported back to that moment.
And I think that's intentional.
Yeah.
Setting the stage for us to understand just how important that moment was.
And then she contrasts that scene with, she uses this really stark image of the earth being struck off from heaven because of sin.
Oh.
It just emphasizes that separation that exists between us and God because of our fallen nature.
Yeah, we talk about that separation a lot, but the way she describes it makes it feel so real, so tangible.
It does. And then, of course, that brings us right back to Jesus, that bridge across the chasm.
Yeah.
And I love how Ellen White really emphasized that hope that we have in Christ.
Mm-hmm.
There's no condemnation, there's no despair, just this unwavering assurance of God's promises.
It's that message of grace that is just so central to the Christian experience.
Yeah, and we need that reminder sometimes.
We do. We get caught up in, the day-to-day, and we forget the bigger picture.
Exactly. But then, she doesn't let us just get comfortable with that comfort.
Right.
She follows that up with this really powerful call to separate ourselves from the world.
Yeah.
She even echoes 2 Corinthians 6.17.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that reminder that our faith requires action.
Yeah, it's not just about believing. It's about living differently.
It's about reflecting Christ in our choices, in our interactions with the world around us.
It's a challenge for sure. But I think in that challenge, there's also a lot of strength.
Absolutely. It gives us purpose. It gives us direction.
Definitely. Makes you stop and think, okay, am I living in a way that lines up with what I believe?
That's a good question to ask ourselves regularly.
Yeah.
But she doesn't leave us grappling with that question alone.
Right.
She brings us back to that beautiful picture of prayer.
Yeah.
And the assurance that even our imperfect prayers are presented before God by Jesus himself.
What a comfort. That is just such a powerful truth.
So we've explored this incredibly rich devotional message about our relationship with Christ and the implications of that relationship for how we live.
Absolutely. And now it's time to see how that message is being shared with the world today through the work of the Ellen G. White estate.
Yeah, let's jump into their website. It's amazing. It's like this digital library dedicated to making her writings accessible to everyone.
It really is. It's incredible. You can find pretty much everything there. Ebooks, devotionals, biographies.
I know.
Even modern English versions of her books.
It's so cool.
Really making these writings accessible to a wide audience.
Yeah, for sure. And, they didn't just stop at reading either. They have audiobooks.
Oh, that's right.
For people who like to listen more than read. And they even have apps so you can access all of her writings.
Yeah.
On your phone or your tablet, wherever you are.
That is so key. These days, we're always on the go.
Yeah.
And being able to have those, deep spiritual insights
right in your pocket.
Right there with you. It's incredible.
It really speaks to, their commitment to reaching people in a way that makes sense for today's world.
Yeah, reaching people where they are.
For sure. And speaking of reaching people, they have a whole section on the website dedicated to research centers.
Oh, yeah.
These centers provide resources and support for scholars and really anyone who's interested in diving deeper into Ellen White's life and work.
It's fascinating.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see how her legacy is being studied and preserved.
It's a testament to the depth of her work. It's not just something you read once and put away.
Right.
These are writings that you can really dig into and keep coming back to.
Absolutely. And of course, none of this would be possible without the support of those who believe in this mission, of sharing Ellen White's message.
Right.
They have a whole section on their website where you can give, and, it highlights the fact that the estate relies on donations to continue doing this important work.
It's a reminder that we're all part of this, sharing this truth, preserving this legacy.
It is. So, as we look at the work of the estate, alongside, the message in that September 13th devotional, what kind of connections are you seeing?
Well, the connection is crystal clear. The estate's work directly reflects the themes we were just talking about. They're making her writings so available in so many different formats.
Yeah.
That's helping people, come to know Christ better, which is the core of her message.
That's so true. And it's almost like they're taking that call to separate ourselves from the world. And they're applying it on a much larger scale. They're creating a space, this online sanctuary.
I like that.
Where people can engage with these, powerful truths and find inspiration.
And strength for living differently.
Yeah, for sure. And the variety of resources that they offer really mirrors that emphasis on reaching different audiences.
Yeah.
It's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Yeah.
They're meeting people where they are.
Right.
Offering different avenues for people to explore her writings and ultimately to, draw closer to Christ.
Absolutely. It's really inspiring to see how her legacy is being carried forward in such a relevant and impactful way.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. It makes you think, what does this all mean for us as Christians today? How do we take these insights from the devotional and from the work of the estate and apply them to our own lives?
That is the big question.
It is. It's easy to get caught up in the, intellectual side of this.
Yeah.
But the real power lies in how these truths, how they translate into action.
Right. How do we live them out?
How we live our lives. And I think the estate's work provides a really beautiful model for us. They've taken this incredible legacy and made it accessible, relevant, engaging for today's world.
Yeah.
And it's a reminder that sharing our faith isn't about, being pushy or forceful.
It's not about preaching at people.
Right. It's about creating spaces where people can, encounter these truths in an authentic way and find their own path to a deeper connection with God.
Well said. It's about meeting people where they are, offering grace and understanding and walking alongside them on their journey.
That's beautiful. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of Ellen G. White, I want to leave our listeners with a challenge.
Okay, I like
a challenge to really reflect on everything we've discussed and ask yourself, what specific truth from her writings resonates most deeply with you?
What really speaks to your heart?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And once you've identified that truth, the next challenge is, how can you share it with others?
Because that's where it becomes real.
Yeah.
It's one thing to have this knowledge, but then what do you do with it?
Right. How do you let it shine?
Exactly.
It's about taking that spark of inspiration and turning it into a flame that can light the way for others.
Love that image.
It's about being a reflection of Christ's love and compassion in a world that so desperately needs it.
And who knows, maybe that flame will ignite a fire, just like Ellen White's message continues to do today.
I love that. It's a beautiful reminder that we all have a part to play in sharing the good news.
We all have
in being beacons of hope and truth in the world.
That's what it's all about.
This has been such a great deep dive.
Yeah, a lot to think about.
And to our listeners, I really encourage you to keep exploring on your own the Ellen G. White Estate website.
It's an amazing resource.
It really is. They have something there for everyone.
Yeah.
Whether you're, a deep thinker who wants to really dig into the theology, or if you're just looking for a quick devotional thought for the day.
There's something there for everybody.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to share, what you learn with others.
Right. Talk about it.
Talk to your friends, your family, even your colleagues. You never know who might be searching for the very truths that speak to you.
Yeah. It's all about sharing.
It is. It's about spreading the light.
Spreading the hope.
And inspiring others to seek that deeper connection with God.
Exactly. That's the beauty of it all.
It is. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of Ellen G. White, let's remember that her message is timeless, and her legacy lives on through each of us.
It does. May her words continue to challenge us, inspire us, and guide us on our own journeys.
Absolutely. And until next time, keep seeking, keep sharing, and keep diving deep.